Hey everyone, in my previous episode of Fromark Talks, I mentioned that I wanted to do a tour of the recently acquired property. And yeah, let's go ahead and check this out, shall we? So, yeah, this is a little project I've been dealing with the last few weeks here, actually. I mean, this whole property is going to be one massive project. But you see, this here is trailer scrap, and this, I'm getting this dealt with. There's some scrappers I've got through the last couple of days. They've been coming and getting all the goodies that are left. But basically, there was a trailer here that these crackheads just parked here and were like, yeah, we're gonna harvest most of the goodies off of it. And they left me with way worse than what you're seeing here. This was a lot worse before I started getting my hands on it, and definitely before the scrappers started coming along. But this is going to be quite a task to deal with. As well as getting this house knocked down as well. That's going to be a neat project. But honestly, I don't think it'll be too bad, because it's a fully intact house still for the most part. It's too bad I can't save it really, but that's fine. So many memories over here, to be honest, though. This used to be the driveway. I still remember my grandpa had all of his vehicles parked over here, and there's that weird tree-like thing that my grandma planted that got way out of control and actually grew up into the house. There was no path there when I started. It was all just that brushy stuff. Like my little keep out sign. That's some good stuff right here. Oh, I got a fun childhood story about this one. This board right here, that's my fault, because whenever I was 8 years old when this happened. I was chasing my older brother over here. We were just playing, and he closed the door behind him when he got here. So I was just like, ugh. And actually, that's why see if I can get that on the camera. That's why I have 4 stitches on my hand, as well as 3 right about there on my wrist. I didn't feel a thing when it happened. It just bled really bad. It was crazy. I remember my aunt rushing me to the ER over, and it was just like, didn't feel a thing. I'm alright. Meanwhile, I'm just bleeding to death. But yeah, all the windows are busted out, partly because my older brother got over here and just got drunk and wanted to shoot stuff, and partly because I threw a couple of blocks at the windows when I got mad one day. But hey, I'm the one who's got to clean it all up anyway, right? You like these little hedges my parents planted along the property line, as I'll actually be living next door to my mom and dad. That's currently where I reside, but once I get my own place, it's going to be my own place, and I'll be able to have my own roof, my own rules. It'll all be pretty nice. Speaking of pretty nice, this creek bank, this is really nice. There's actually fish in here too, so if I ever want to do any fishing out of the back of this creek. However, there is a lot of digging. I want to get this creek dug out a little bit. I want to get it cleared out a little bit, because there's some spaces that are dammed up pretty bad, and it's just an overall not fun, not very good time, not very good thing. But yeah, I have so many memories of growing up over here. I remember my grandpa, anytime he'd hang out with his friend, he'd be sitting out here mostly, had the chair up against the tree, like all my bags of cans. I'd just been collecting cans, and sometimes I'll add to that collection, as you see that little pile on the ground there. But yeah, this window's not busted out, but I also got a little slap happy with the can of spray paint, just messing with it, seeing how much was in the can. And anyways, yeah, I've got a few bags of cans though, but at the time of recording this, I'm probably gonna cash those all in really soon. Here's all my yard equipment for the most part. Now, I would kind of like to do an inside tour of this house before I tear it down, and maybe I can do that in a future video. But for now, I just want to show you all the property really, and show you all it's really spacious, and it's really beautiful, and more of my cans. I'm gonna keep these old flower pots. I don't know where my grandparents got them from, but they're really neat. They're cracked though, so they need a little bit of work. But yeah, there's a really nice wide open space for the most part. You see my burning pit over there. I have a lot of epic historic sized fires there. That's always a fun time. I like burning stuff. Everybody likes to burn stuff. But there's always stuff to burn over here. Because, I mean, I've just been... When I started on all this, all the weeds were up to my neck, and I was hacking and slashing and burning away, and it's really come together and come back to life a lot since I started on it. But I've still got so much to do. As you can all see, this is quite a project, quite an undertaking. But yeah, this house was originally built sometime in the 40s, to my understanding. My grandparents bought it in the early 70s, and they lived here until 2014. My grandpa, he was like, yeah, we can't really do much to take care of this place, and to be honest with you, it was in pretty rough shape whenever they lived here. It was really run down. As long as I can remember, there was always something really rough wrong with it. But yeah, just over here been making some piles for the scrappers a little bit, getting some of the scrap metal that they haven't gotten to yet. So there's still plenty of that to take care of course. And like my little blue marker flag there, I had to put this here so I can make sure that I knew exactly where the water meter was, because I haven't quite cleaned that lid off enough yet, and I fell in there one night. That did not feel nice. That did not feel nice. Yeah, I wish I could save that mailbox, but I was looking inside there and the ants have taken it over. It's super rusty. I've pretty much gotten all the goodies that I've won over here, except for maybe a kitchen table that my grandparents left in the house. But yes, my grandparents moved out of here in like 2014, so it's been about 10 years at the date of recording. And whenever they moved out, these people who had moved in like 2012, 2013, they used to live in that trailer that you see in the back there. And they were the people that my grandpa sold this to, but they mostly just used it for trashing up and storage, and I mean, the house was pretty rough to begin with, but I've definitely got a lot to clean up out of that house. There's a lot of crap in there, and most of it I gotta throw away because, you know, nature's slowly begun to reclaim the place on the inside. I do not know what that square thing is hanging out of the creek there, but I gotta do something about that. I've still got so much trash pickup and cleanup to do here. There's just a lot of junk left over. My grandpa liked to go to auctions, and he liked to work on stuff and tinker on things, and he always had a project going on. But there was also, as a result, there was always a lot of just random junk that he never found any use for or did anything with, and he was a bit of a hoarder. But there isn't a whole heck of a lot left over, and like I said, I already got everything I wanted out of even that building over there. This is going to be burning pile. This is going to be the next burning pile. I'm going to make sure that this is probably where I put like a burning barrel eventually. And that's a nice little concrete frame, because there used to be a little structure there. Where you see this concrete slab over here. There used to be a chicken coop right about here. I burned that down like the first week I had this property. That was a lot of fun. That was a huge fire. Now, one night over here, I had like 4 fires going on at the same time. There was that blank spot there, fire pit in the back, this over here, and then the building, I think, was that night. Or no, there was another fire pit next to where the marker flag is. But yeah, so many memories over here, and I can't wait to make some new ones over here, and I already have with all the work I've put into cleaning the place up. One thing I always kind of reminisce about a lot over here was there was a space over here, right about here. There used to be a building here a long time ago, and I remember my grandpa tore it down because he thought it was super unsafe to be playing in. But for some reason I liked the area and made like a little makeshift clubhouse here one time when I was a kid, and I had it here for a decent amount of time. I remember it pretty well, and I even expanded on it and turned it into like a tent almost, and it didn't last for very long. And there's some wire I tied to the tree once. I can't remember what that was for, but I did all kinds of... It was like my little workshop over here almost. But now, having the place as a whole, I can kind of look at it as like one giant workshop again. But yes, there's also this building over here. Speaking of workshops, this was my grandpa's workshop. This was where he did a lot of his projects, and it's a pretty neat little building, but I'm probably going to burn it down because it's kind of an unsafe, dilapidated structure. You notice a theme here. Everything is quite dilapidated and falling in. I don't really have any use for this, and I would like to build something newer, something sturdier, something better. I plan on, when I tear that house down, I plan on putting like a tiny home on the property. Like a nice, something that I can live well within my means. I don't have to worry about too much, paying too many bills, and it's just the right amount of space and everything I need. But alas, this property tour, well, I guess there's this back part here, as well as the back part of this building over here, and more of the creek. It's very peaceful out here, to be honest. Don't have very many neighbors, and you hear a lot of nature, a lot of birds, a lot of bugs, a lot of that sort of stuff. And yeah, speaking of bugs, I'm getting swarmed by mosquitoes while filming this, so I'm probably going to wrap this up here in just a moment. But yeah, this is pretty much the edge of the property, and yeah, as far as I know, the property marker is, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be one of these things sticking out of the ground here, but I haven't been able to confirm that yet. And once again, please excuse me for the fact that it's really weedy over here again, because I'm very well aware of the fact that I need to mow the grass again, and it has been a couple of days too long, if you will. So that is going to be probably the next thing I work on, along with getting some of this trailer scrap and garbage cleaned up and taken care of. But yeah, it's been it's been a fulfilling project. It gives me a little extra sense of purpose. It makes me feel a lot more important, busy. It gives me something to work toward, and one day I'll get to live here, hopefully. But yeah, there's also another chunk of property over there. There's like a grove. Let's see if I can zoom in on that from here. Yeah. Not that building there that you're seeing, but all that weed and all those weeds and trees. Yeah, there's like a section over there that also came with all this. It's kind of strange how it's all broken up like that, but technically it's 4 lots, and it's way more than I need. But like I said, it feels good being able to get over here and do all this, and I feel like my late grandpa would be proud of me if he was still alive. But anyways, folks, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, and I will see you in whatever the next video I do. This is Fromark, and I will see you later.